Does your teen's FND symptoms tend to flare up when they're in stress or feeling anxious or something is going on that they feel so stressed out? Well, guess what? There is no coincidence, and I'm here to explain why. In this video, I'm going to talk about this rare topic of stress, anxiety, and FND for teens. And I say rare topic because I rarely talk about the relationship between stress, anxiety, and FND because by definition, FND's diagnosis does not require a presence of significant stress or trauma. So it can be a little bit confusing, but I am here to walk you through how stress anxiety can be related to FND. So let's dive in. Hi, my name is Dr. Lee. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the founder of online coaching program Teen FND Academy. So I'm going to use my iPad to illustrate the relationship between stress, anxiety, and FND, especially for teens. So typically speaking, when your teen feels anxious or overwhelmed, what happens neuroscience-wise is that their nervous system goes into this fight or flight mode. And sometimes that can trigger FND symptoms. So something happens and then fight or flight goes on, and then the FND symptom happens. So it's kind of like your child is using the body's alarm system, but it gets stuck on high alert even when there is no real danger on a regular basis. So let me walk you through that. Basically, what I would call it an event, and it could be trigger or kind of like what happens, right? And so something happens and then brain is constantly scanning for something. Whether it's a memory, oh, this seems familiar, this had happened before, or thinking and feelings and attention and all of that stuff, okay? And then this then translates into fight or flight, getting turned on, it goes up. So then this literally goes into FND symptoms. So the problem is sometimes teens may or may not realize that they're actually having this fight or flight turned on or having anxiety feelings or stressful feelings and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't realize that, but something happens and then the body sort of goes into this fight or flight mode and then the FND symptom happens. The problem with this scenario, a lot of times based on the families that I worked with, is that everybody basically thinks that we need to know exactly what happened here, aka root cause or what triggered and what is causing it, whatever that is. So then they can essentially deal with the event or triggers or root cause to get rid of FND symptoms. That's what they're thinking. And this is why I kind of want to be careful that when I say there's a relationship between stress, anxiety, and FND, it's not that anxiety is causing the FND. So here is that. However, FND used to be called conversion disorder. And then conversion disorder by definition is considered a pure mental health disorder that was caused by stress, anxiety, and trauma. That's why a lot of people still believe, oh, as long as you deal with the trauma, then you deal with the FND. Well, not quite the case. And then here is why. One thing that a lot of people are missing is over time, your child's fight or flight system gets sort of locked in between this FND symptoms. So these two circles, they are basically stuck together. So then at this point, it doesn't even need to have a known event or a trigger to have this FND symptoms. So this is where I talk about in my online program, Teen FND Academy, the Brain for Teens methodology, which is the building resilience and improving neural health, which is a super simple term for knowing what, how, and why. It's almost like this event or trigger is almost like a why, and we need to know what first. What is that there's a fight or flight getting stuck, right, on high alert, and then there's FND symptoms happening. That is what you need to know. Like, yes, there is a fire in the house, right? And then the next step is you need to put out the fire, right? So this is where the how part of the brain for teens methodology comes into play. How to actually break this cycle between the fight or flight and the FND symptoms. So this is where, well, anxiety, stress, sure, it definitely increases the fight or flight, but some teens don't even experience that sensation or emotional feelings, I guess, right before they experience the symptoms of FND. So sometimes I hear teens like, well, I was feeling fine, and then I was just like sitting on the couch and then watching TV, and then suddenly, bam, symptom happened. Or that every time there is a big competition happening, or every time there is a school stuff going on, like a big presentation or exam or finals or whatever, then the stress usually goes up. That would add the fuel to the fire of the fight or flight. Then the FND symptom happens, right? So at this point, let me just write it here. The stress and anxiety may or may not be the trigger, but really closer relationship is stress and anxiety are directly attached to fight or flight. And then this is going to increase the symptom of FND basically, right? So what can you do? Again, in my online program, Teen FND Academy, the Brain for Teens methodology, you're going to have to know these things are connected, right? But stress and anxiety is not where we start. We start with this fight or flight and more like a frozen state to break this cycle, so then your teen is less likely to have these FND symptoms to begin with, right? So how can we do that? This is where the autonomic nervous system regulation strategies come in handy. And I don't just mean by any relaxation strategies or soothing techniques and things like that. I also include anything that is uplifting, because if your child is going not only on the fight or flight, kind of like a go until crash and burn, when they crash and burn, they go into this frozen state, like the girls from Frozen, and along with their teen, pretty much. Then what happens if your teen keeps using the relaxation strategies? Your teen is kind of like going down and down and down and down when they kind of need to get up or get out of the frozen state, right? So then this is where you or child wants to implement some sort of uplifting strategies. So it could be something that is very joyful and fun, stuff like that. Not that your child needs to play a video game all day, every day, or on the phone chatting with your friends all day, every day, kind of thing. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But the idea is that you just cannot implement the relaxation strategies only. You need to kind of balance up and down. Your child's not going to be able to stay in the middle forever as long as they're alive, just like you and I, right? But they're going to be able to learn how to notice, oh, it's going up high too much. Oh, it's going down too much. Then okay, we're going to be able to adjust this playing field a little bit, so to speak. Okay, so the autonomic nervous system regulation strategies, and I have tons of videos talking about what they are on other videos, so go check them out. The other thing is pacing. Activity pacing is something I talk about a lot as well. So this is basically a fancy term to take a lot of breaks preemptively, even though they're not tired or they're not having flare-ups. So basically, you're taking breaks, mini breaks throughout the time, so you're constantly charging yourself, kind of thing. And again, I do have tons of videos about what activity pacing is, so check that out as well. And then for you parents, this is about teamwork. So it's not about accommodating, but here's the deal. Stress and anxiety, I want to ask you parents, how are you with that? Because your stress and anxiety, in a big term, your psychology, whether it's a direct or indirect, is a lot more contagious than any virus on the planet. Therefore, you as a parent stay calm and be supportive, not accommodating, but supportive by encouraging the teen to be a little bit more independent, right? About taking care of their body. Then it actually helps the teens feel safe as well. So if you're basically, I don't know, in an exaggerated manner, freaked out, frantic, and stressed out, and then all of that, that is basically what you're teaching your teen. That's exactly what they need to be doing, which is not really helpful because even though, again, the stress and anxiety are not necessarily the reason why you're surrounding your child with tons and tons of stress and anxiety because of your own experience is a lot more contagious to increase the fight or flight. And that is going to continue the fire of the FND, even though that's not exactly what you want. So celebrate any wins. In fact, in the Teen FND Academy weekly coaching call, we always start with tell me your win, whether it's big or small, or challenges and lessons learned. Everything counts. Every small step and wins is a milestone towards resolving FND. So you're basically reinforcing that instead of we're better, but we're still not done with FND, right? I get that, and if that is going to actually help move the needle towards the resolution of FND, keep doing that. Never seen the case, never will. So celebrate small wins to help your teen feel confident again and again and again. Okay? So stress might be part of life. So you're not going to be able to avoid or prevent stress from your child for the rest of her life. However, you can teach your child to basically deal with the stress much, much better over time. Okay? It literally does not have to control your teen's symptoms. Start small and you're going to see the difference in a long run. And if this is something that you resonate with, that you agree, maybe this is something I can do and want more help, then absolutely click the link below to schedule a call to talk to me. You might qualify for my program, Teen FND Academy. Well, thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you in the next video.